Welcome back to Unstoppable You Now, where we explore timeless wisdom through stories that inspire your heart and sharpen your mind. Deep within the heart of an ancient, vibrant jungle lived a colorful community of birds, singing songs of joy and freedom. Among them was Took, a magnificent cockatoo with white feathers and a bright yellow crest, who loved the sound of his voice. Took believed he was the smartest bird in the forest, constantly chattering away and interrupting others to share his unsolicited opinions. In contrast, there was Tick, a scarlet macaw with brilliant red, blue, and yellow feathers, known for his calm and quiet nature. Tick rarely spoke unless necessary, preferring to sit on high branches, watching the world below and listening to the wind's whispers. While Took spent his days boasting about things he barely understood, Tick spent his time learning the subtle rhythms of nature. One sunny morning, the birds gathered to discuss the harvest, but Tuck drowned out everyone else with his loud, confident speeches. He claimed to know exactly when the rains would come, dismissing the elders who tried to warn of a coming dry season. Tick sat silently nearby, noticing the dry leaves and the changing wind direction, signs that the elders were indeed speaking truth. When a small sparrow tried to speak up, Tuck laughed and flapped his wings, demanding silence so he could continue talking. Tick flew down to the sparrow, asking gently what she had seen, valuing the small bird's perspective over the loud noise. Weeks passed, and the sun grew fiercely hot, scorching the earth until the riverbeds turned into cracked, dry paths of dust. Panic spread through the bird village as their water sources evaporated, leaving everyone thirsty, anxious, and looking for a leader to follow. An emergency meeting was called near the old banyan tree, where the thirsty flock gathered, hoping for a solution to survive. Before anyone could suggest a plan, Tuck jumped to the center, puffing his chest out to command the attention of everyone. He declared loudly that he had heard of a magical waterfall in the distant mountains, and that everyone must follow him immediately. An elder owl tried to warn him about the dangerous journey, but Tuck interrupted, claiming he knew the route better than anyone. Swayed by his confidence, half the flock took flight behind Took, believing his loud promises would lead them to fresh, cool water. Tick remained behind with the others, knowing that acting on impulse without gathering proper information was a recipe for certain disaster. Instead of flying blindly, Tick visited the wise old owl who had been silenced earlier, asking for guidance on finding water. The owl whispered about a hidden spring inside a nearby cave, a secret known only to those patient enough to truly listen. Tick then listened to the little sparrow, who chirped about a damp marshland she had spotted beneath the thick, dense undergrowth. Gathering the remaining birds, Tick led them quietly toward the cave, trusting the wisdom of others rather than his own ego. Meanwhile, high in the sky, Took and his followers were struggling against harsh winds, flying toward mountains that looked dry and barren. Took began to realize he had no idea where he was going, but his pride kept him from admitting his mistake. The birds following Took grew weak and exhausted, their wings heavy, realizing their leader was guiding them toward nothing but empty rocks. Back in the forest, Tick and his group arrived at the cave entrance, feeling a cool, refreshing breeze flowing from within. Inside the dark cavern, they found a crystal-clear underground stream, untouched by the sun, providing enough water for every single bird. The birds drank deeply, chirping in celebration and gratitude for Tick, who had saved them not by speaking, but by listening. Far away, Took stared at the dry mountain peaks, finally accepting that his arrogance had led his friends into a dangerous trap. Ashamed and thirsty, Took signaled for the flock to turn back, hoping they would have enough strength to make it home alive. The return journey was grueling and slow, a painful reminder of the cost of ignoring wisdom in favor of loud, empty noise. They arrived back at the village just as the sun was setting, collapsing on the branches, defeated and parched from the flight. Tick saw them arrive and immediately guided the exhausted travelers to the hidden spring, sharing the water without judgment or anger. Took drank the cool water, feeling the life return to his body, but the shame in his heart was heavy and painful. He looked at Tick, who was quietly ensuring everyone had enough, and realized that true leadership is about service, not attention. Took approached Tick and the elders, lowering his head to apologize for his recklessness and for failing to listen to them. The community forgave him, for they knew the harsh lesson he had learned was punishment enough for his pride and arrogance. From that day forward, Took spoke less and listened more, discovering that the world was full of wisdom he had previously ignored. The flock thrived, combining the energy of the youth with the wisdom of the elders, surviving future challenges through unity and listening. This story reminds us that we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we might listen twice as much. True intelligence is not demonstrated by how much you speak, but by how much you are willing to learn from others. Be like Tick, who found the solution through silence, rather than Took, who created problems through noise. Listen to understand, not reply. Thank you for watching Unstoppable You. Now, subscribe for more stories that empower your journey. See you in the next video.